Hello everybody. Today we're going to troubleshoot this error that came up on our 2020 Chrysler Pacifica. Stop, start, unavailable service, start, stop system, and this little A circle came up. Now that's the thing that shuts off the van when you come to a stop, and when you start, it starts to back up. Did a little internet research, and the main culprit for that is the secondary battery. So we're gonna go ahead and try and change that, because I went to AutoZone and had them check the battery, and they said it was having some issues. So ordered a new one, and so we're gonna switch that out, see if that solves our issue. So first thing we're gonna do here is pop the hood and show you where that battery is. Now to pop the hood, come down here and we just pull this little guy forward. And we walk around, and underneath here there's a catch. To the side, picks up, and we just put that this guy right here up, and that'll hold it in place. All right, so we got our hood up with the stand there to hold it, and the secondary battery that I'm talking about is right down there. So nice and pain in the butt to get to, but it's not all bad. This thing here just pops right up, and you pull it out, and the battery's right here. So there's a strap we'll have to take off, and then take off these two pieces, and we'll get it out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get some ratchets, and we're gonna take off that piece right there. Okay, so the screws here and the screws down there are both 10 millimeter. So using our extension, I'm just gonna crank these off. I don't think anyone really wants to watch me do this, so we're just gonna go, around each one, crank them off, and then we'll take the battery out. All right, we got that first screw out. This is the one that holds this down. It's a kind of a stupid long screw, but we're just gonna kind of fold this piece back here, and then we're gonna go ahead and take off the negative and then the positive terminals, and we'll lift that battery out. All right, so we got the terminals off and that strap off, so now we can just lift it right out. It's going to be a pain in the butt because of this stuff that's in the way. Not sure there's an easy way around that, but I'm going to need both my hands, so I'm going to pause the video while I finagle that out. All right, so here's our two batteries side by side. It's the old one, new one. Now, as you can see, we need to transfer these posts from this battery to that battery. So I don't know why they decided to do it this way, but they did. So what I found was a 15-30 socket. Fits right over that, and if you hold on to the battery for a second, get that on there, and it breaks right off. By breaking, I mean loosen, and then you can spin it by hand. And we'll just put it over here. Oop, try not to drop it. We spin that one, and then we'll do this one as well. Take that one off, spin it onto here, and we'll just give it a slight tighten, not a lot. We're just gonna give it just a little tighten on there. I said not a lot, so I'm just gonna do it that much, just like I said, tiny bit. So I'll do the same thing on this one, and then we'll put that one back into place. All right, so I did have a little trouble getting it out. You do want your red or your positive facing that way. And so how I got it out is I rotated it this way. Was able to sneak it down and turn it like this. And then we're just gonna position it and get that insulation right here, this insulation all around this, and once we do that, we'll get it all put back together. All right, now that we got that battery in place, first we're gonna let's go ahead and secure this back on here. So you might have to kind of finagle it around to get it to lay flat. And once you get it on there, you take this bottom, and you couldn't really see that, but we're gonna plop that right back where it was. Let's Make sure this insulation doesn't get folded over. And now that that's in that spot, we're gonna get that bolt put back in. So after I get that in, we'll hook our terminals back up. All right, one thing I luckily noticed before I got too far was that you have to put this piece on here before you tighten that down, because that won't fit with this all the way down. So with that slightly up, I'm just gonna fit it over it so everything's in there nice and flat. And now I'm gonna tighten that bolt down. Otherwise you'd have to loosen it up later to put that on. So put this on before you tighten that all the way down. All right, so we got this fastened all the way down, so that's not gonna come up. Remember, we put that on before we tighten that down. I'm just gonna grab the nut. For batteries, a general rule, you always do the positive first. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin that nut on. Tighten it down. Just a little snug, not too much. All right, before we totally connect it, we have our positive connected. Before I do this negative, what I'm gonna do is take this one off and let the system kind of reboot itself. So it's the same 10mm socket. You loosen that, which I already did, and you just pull that off. Kind of move it off to the side so it's not touching the post, and then we're gonna let this sit for I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and then we'll get everything reconnected and give it a shot. All right, it's been about 15 minutes or so, so we're gonna go ahead and reconnect the terminals. To do that, we're just gonna take this big one, set it on there, and tighten it down. Just snug, you don't need to power it down. And then we'll go and make sure you can see what I'm doing here. We pick this one up and set it on and spin the nut back on. And give that one a nice little tighten. All right, so the batteries are reconnected. Last thing we need to do here under the hood is put this vent back in. And that's pretty easy. You just take it, you push it in to that hole, then it'll drop down and kind of snaps into place. But lift up on it, you know, make sure that it's in place how it's supposed to be. And then we'll put our ratchet away, and we'll put the hood down by disconnecting it from here, popping it into here, and just lightly letting it drop. So then we're gonna go inside and check, turn the car on and see if that fixed it. All right, we're back inside the vehicle. We're gonna go ahead and start the car, start the van. Let it run through its system checks here. And it looks like we're good to go. So that is how we change that auxiliary battery and get rid of that warning. If you have any questions, comments, concerns on that, please leave them in the comments below. Hit like, subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.